Now, after you watch this next video, you're going to want to get on a plane and go to Singapore to see what's going on out there. Because these are two college sophomores. So they study at a university in Singapore, technology and design. And they spent a summer up in Massachusetts going to school for a couple months, some kind of exchange program. And what they did, they saw, actually it's the woman, it's a young woman and a young guy, but the woman had trouble finding her pass to get on the metro all the time, the subway, because it was so small and it loses in the purse. She said, why isn't that on a ring? So they got together and figured out the technology of how to get all that stuff that's on a plastic card, when you go in the subway or anywhere, to put it on a ring so it's always with you, and you just slap your ring on it, and then wow, you're into the subway, right? You don't have to fish around for that card or in your back pocket and it cracks and all this kind of, and they're actually designer rings too, so they're fashion statements. So they came over here for a few months. They talked to the transit people over there, and they said, hey, yeah, this sounds like a cool idea. And they figured it all out. And what did they raise? They raised like $20,000 on the internet to finance the first production of this. Actually, they only needed like $5,000, I think it was, but they got $20,000. So that's really cool. These are young people, just second year in college. They come over here for a few months and find out how to use the system already. Man, that's really using your head, isn't it? And actually what it is, so now they have a contract with the Boston Transit people, so they can just go city to city and do all that. They probably won't even finish college for all I know. Why would they? They got a thriving business already, And that's what it is. I mean, that's what's so neat about the internet, is taking ideas nobody else had. We all have those kind of ideas that nobody, hey, why don't they do this? Well, here, you do this and put it on the web and find out. So watch how they did it. And they're just delightful people too. So watch this video. Okay, so we have Olivia Xiao and Edward Tiong, right? Were they sort of close or what? Yeah. But you guys are just terrific. You're only in your sophomore year at a Singapore, what is the university? Singapore what?
Singapore University of Technology and Design.
Singapore University of Technology and Design, and you spent a few months at MIT on an exchange program, and you come back to Singapore and you invented this ring that everybody could use now instead of a credit card or using the transit. You just put your ring there and you're through the gates without going through your wallet or your purse or trying to find the card. This is ingenious. What made you think about this? What gave you the idea to design that?
So I would spend a lot of my time waiting at the gantry and digging through my bag to get my card. And that was something that really frustrated me, and I thought maybe it would be good if I could wear the card instead of keeping it in my bag. So Edward and I, we got together and started building a prototype. We wanted to shrink the card from this size to this size. And through that process, we came on the idea of actually making it as a school identity, a corporate identity, and then something for public transit. And so that's the ring was born.
I see. So was it born in Boston or in Singapore?
It was actually born in Singapore. So we had our first pilot trial in our college, the Singapore University of Technology and Design, and we launched the ring to 300 of our freshmen at the college.
I see.
And they're using it to access the laboratories, the dormitories, classrooms, and lecture theaters.
So they just flash the ring, right? Well, see what's interesting, Edward, that it took a young woman to realize how important this was, right? Because she fumbling around in the purse. So this is more reason why we need more women in technology to solve problems in life, right?
I think especially the men like to keep their smart cards in their back pocket.
Right.
So it's a little more convenient for them.
See?
And the problem isn't that apparent. But when you start seeing people wearing the ring around, it starts being a cool thing, starts being an identity. And then, even the men want it now. It's not just girls.
Now they want it because it's cool. The girls are using it, right?
I think a blend of gender in engineering and design who make really cool products because of the perspective that are injected in a project like this.
It is. I mean, but more importantly, you took this idea and put it on a crowdfunding site, Kickstarter, and you raised $20,000. You know, that's even big money in Singapore, isn't it?
So what we're trying to do is Kickstarter is to basically get the idea off the ground. We designed this ring because we thought we could do something different with common technologies like smart card.
Right.
And so we created this ring and we wanted to get it off the ground as soon as possible. So the Kickstarter was a great platform to do that. And we were surprised that it got such a good reception and adoption rate in Boston.
Well, you were only looking for $5,000, right? And you got $20,000. How long did it take you to get the 5,000? I see you were on there for, gosh, only 23 days, the whole thing. But the 5,000, how long did it take to get to the 5,000?
I think we managed to hit 5,000 in about 3 days.
3 days? So you had your goal in 3 days. What took you so long? It was
something that we didn't quite expect as well, but we tried our best and it's good to see that there's a lot of support from the Boston community.
Yeah.
And we want to try our best to meet all those demands of those lovely people who have supported us.
That's terrific. And that's what's, to me, so exciting about it is that not only have you done it because it's just for Boston, running the transit in Boston, right? That you now can go to every city with a transit to have a different product. And so now you have a really big business potential, you know, just by starting in Boston. I mean, we have a lot of cities, and I'm sure Singapore even has this potential, right?
Yeah. One thing that I want to say is that we're very thankful for the support from the Boston Public Transit Authority. And they were the ones who allowed us to use their train stations as our pilot test.
Oh, really?
And if not for them, we might not have started being able to enter this public transit market. And through this success story, maybe we can move to other areas all over the world.
Well, that's very interesting. So really you needed the cooperation of the Transit Authority to be able to work out the technology problems that you would have. And so they were open to you, you know, to do this. And you don't even look like you're Americans, huh?
Well,
they didn't think you were terrorists or something.
Well, it's not really about the technology problem because what we have, our ring can accept most smart cards and work successfully with many existing systems, but it's more of getting their approval and the permission to use our rings on their system.
Oh, I see. Do you have to share the income with them or what?
I think what's really awesome about the Massachusetts Bay Area Transport Authority is that they're really supportive of such young and new ideas.
Oh, that's terrific.
Potentially be quite innovative in a field that is something that people transit on every day. Yeah. So we were very thankful of that, and I think it was great that they supported us at a young stage and allowed us to get the idea to as many people as possible.
Yeah, well, no, it's terrific, and now they're seen as, you know, leaders in the public transportation industry because they're using this ring to get on the. So you made them a hero too. Well, you're great people, an inspiring story for what you've done. I mean, you're just sophomores in college and came up with this idea and just did it, and you found $20,000 on the internet to help you do that, and you got even a big organization in Boston to help you do this, and you didn't even know where Boston was probably until you got here. And it's just having that heart and that dream that you made it happen. So we have a lot to learn from you guys, and thank you for sharing this experience with us and let me show off my Mandarin. 再见
It was our pleasure to speak to you, Uncle Lesko. You look awesome.
Tell my wife. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you, Uncle Lesko.
谢谢你。
See you. 再见.
See? Don't want to go to Singapore? Well, I do. Actually, they speak a little Mandarin, so and I've tried to study Mandarin, and that's one of the languages they speak. I'd say, I mean, this is where our world is going. You know, it's a flat world, so whether you're Singapore or, you know, Kentucky or whatever, you have access to the same tools to raise money or to find markets or to do whatever you want to do. You know, and that's what's so neat about our society now. You don't have to be a fat cat living on Wall Street to do things anymore in this country. The tools are there for you right on your kitchen table or right on your phone or whatever it is. And the only thing, the difference between them and you is they did it. You know, that's the difference between all of us. I mean, the people go out and do stuff. You know, you learn, you fail, you learn. You have to do that. So get out there and start failing so you really learn stuff.